This is the third round of the 2017 Battle of the Dunes competition, where man and machine are pitted against some of the Namib Desert's biggest and toughest dunes. The teams are once again based at Lobaville Camp, 40 kilometers out of Walvis Bay. The battle kicked off in usual style, with unpacking luggage, deflating tires, and getting ready to take on large piles of sand. Leading the drivers to the largest sandpit in the world is Namibian local sand enthusiast Werner Skarp, and he's joined by trusty sweep and recovery guru Loftus de Toy, aka Lofty. Let's go 4x4ing then. The contestants head out of the camp for a short drive to the customary driver's briefing, but it wasn't too long before the group was forced to make a pit stop. Lofty! Andrew Fensham, in his Prado, was still getting used to the sand and the right foot power delivery system. Thanks, Lofty. But on the next crest, still not enough right foot, and Lofty was called back into action. Martin Jabert was also getting used to the rollover angle of his Ford Ranger. Lofty! And the Ranger gets extracted from the crest. Barney Becker and his Jeep appear next. Oh dear. Sure, lucky one there, Farney. Not so lucky for Jean and Barent. Lofty! I hope Lofty has enough fuel for all this extra driving. And he also extracts the Wrangler from the claws of the Namib. This was going to be a tough battle, considering we started by almost digging to China. Okay, so with all the drivers finally making it to the briefing rendezvous point and a refreshment or two being consumed,
Okay, welcome to the last battle of 2017.
Werner could give his safety briefing, with the golden rule of sand driving, straight up and straight down, being emphasized. Now let's have some formal introductions to the battle competitors. Our first competitors are the husband and wife team of Farney and Lisa Becker. They brought a fancy Jeep Wrangler to the fight. Next up is the Fensham family, led by Andrew, an experienced battle driver. They're in the large Toyota Prado with a supercharger. Jean Gonçalves and Baden Strecher are also in a Jeep Wrangler. They brought the right vehicle to this party. With one of 3 Ford Rangers, Martin and Sinette are also in good company with their Bucky. Also in a Ford Ranger, all the way from Nelspruit, are Henny Meyren and Anton Meyer. No comment about the pink shirt, yet. Rounding up the Ford gang was another Meyren, Dunru and his co-pilot Dirk de Vos in their single cab. Lastly, also from Nelspruit, is the only Toyota Hilux in the competition, Sean van Rooyen and Hans Meyer. With that out of the way, it was time to tackle the Namib for some big boy sand play. Werner shows the drivers the line for this obstacle. It is just a straightforward drive up a pile of sand and then over the top. Easy, right? Martin and Sinette are up first. They make it look easy and have plenty of momentum. But as they make that right turn, the thick sand slows them down and they stop. A very nervous Sinette isn't looking forward to the reverse all the way down. So Martin, what are your thoughts of this obstacle?
Yeah, I think need a little bit of power. Maybe I must know it better as well.
Team Prado are up next, and Andrew hits the gas pedal hard. But the sand is too soft for the heavy Toyota. What was the issue there, Andrew?
I'm still battling to know where's all the functions and the terrain selections and what. But yeah, that's part of the journey.
Next up was Henny and his Ranger. How will the Ford do? Sure, that was almost up and over. Now it's over to Danru Meyren. Can he do better than his dad? They take a really wide left line and no.
Ja, maar dat is alleen een beetje babbel. Ja.
The sand is also soft there. Sean and Anton line up next, but it looks like Sean has a few tricks up his long sleeve. He deflates his tires a bit more and cheekily overshoots the start. Then reverses to make the sand a bit harder for his pull-away. With a lightning gear change up, and down. Sean looks very determined to make it up, but no, the desert wins again. So much for all the tricks, Sean. On the other side of the break, it's a Jeep that lines up to see if it can match Werner. Okay, so now Jean and Barend are ready for this obstacle. They have a plan, but Barend seems to be looking for something.
Goed, bro. Is op jouw gezicht. Wow. Kan het gaan?
The Jeep is off, but something is amiss. It sounds like it's broken, but no. Barend has selected low-range first gear. With no momentum, that is what will happen. A fail. Jean has his own explanation.
Ver gekomen. Ja, maar weet je wat? Kom eens, maak voor ons dat tweede keer.
With the gears now correctly selected, they have another go.
Gaan het maken.
Even with more oomph and revs, the Wrangler still doesn't make it. But Jean has an idea for his kids.
Jy gaan die ding vir 'n vallei moet vat. Ha? Ek kan dit los dat die kinders kan speel in die sandpit vir 'n week. Ja. You want to go play in the sandpit in Dad's car?
Farney and Lisa are last to go. Can they match Werner's Jeep? They look pretty serious. And they are off. Farney gives it stick. And they fail too, much to the disgust of Farney and Lisa. So that's a fail for all the contestants. Not a good start to this battle. With obstacle 1 behind them, the contestants leave in style. Formation dune driving. Till this happened. Let's watch while poor Lofty has his work cut out for him, trying to get everyone to the next obstacle. So after that fiasco, let's attempt obstacle 2. And again, Werner shows the contestants the way up, starting at the base of the dune with a steep climb. Then, after the crest, a deep hole. A left turn and up another sandy climb to the top. Simple again, right? First up is the scheming Sean and co-pilot Hunt. And I'm sure there's a story behind that pink shirt. Doing a touch of drifting on the first part, they make it up and down into the donga, bouncing their way to the top.
Right, sir. That was lekker. Yeah.
Looks like they enjoyed that one. Well done, Sean, on the first clear attempt of the battle.
Because of undisclosed area yesterday, that's why I'm wearing this shirt. Not very pleased with it, but I think I'll make it look good.
I guess we'll leave it at that then. Henny is off next, also in drifting style. And he makes it look simple. That's 2 from 2 on this dune. Martin, also in a Ford Ranger, gives a last-minute explanation of his strategy.
Right, op mijn tweede high probeer. Kijk ons dat maak hy. Gaat ons.
And easily make it up the first crest. Now for the soft donga. And the Ford easily powers its way up and over. Much to the pleasure of Sine and Nicole in the back. Well done, Martin.
It was lekker, much better than yesterday. I think we know the vehicles more. So yes, it was good.
Andrew and John in their supercharged Toyota line up next.
Lawrence.
And Andrew also gives his what strategy. Let's hope the Fensham boys have worked out all the Prado's functions. The supercharger works overtime as it powers the Prado up the first hill. Again, powering up the second hill, and they make it. Well done, lads. What are your thoughts, Andrew?
The more I drive with it, the more I do the dunes, the more I know the car. I think that's important, to know your car.
Jean's Wrangler heads off next, also doing the sand drifting thing. With the correct gear selection and a planted right foot, Team Jeep make it all the way to the top. They seem surprised.
Yeah.
Farney and Lisa in the second Wrangler head off. Considering how well Jean went, this should be a breeze. But oops, Farney taps off far too early. Looks like our beat button is going to be worn out here. Finally, Team Jeep make it over. What's your take of the last climb, Farney?
Braked too early, and then I got stuck, but I got out myself, so it's a Jeep.
Last on the start line are Danru and Dirk in their single cab Ford. Let's see how they get on, as all the other contestants have succeeded on this obstacle. Not surprisingly, they too make it up and over.
Maklik man, maklik. Is daar nie groter duine hierso nie?
Join us after the break when the drivers get treated to a steak lunch and the obstacles get a little harder. Welcome back, and time for a spot of lunch. And our resident battle chef has a cracker of a meal planned for the drivers.
I'm Chef Rousseau Hill from the Grapevine Chefs at the Walvis Bay Yacht Club. Today what we're going to do for you, we got a beer bread, which we've been made with self-raising flour and buntuk lager. And over here we got our steak that's marinated in soya, garlic, rosemary and oerbok beer. We're going to make a peppercorn sauce where we're going to fry our peppercorns, onions and garlic. We're going to deglaze that together with our oerbok and add some cream just to finish off the sauce. Our peppercorn oerbok sauce is done and ready to be served. From there on, onto the grill, done. There we have it, our oerbok sauce done, buntuk lager beer bread done, and our steak all ready.
After lunch, the full-bellied drivers head out to the next challenge. but not before some more belly-stuck action. Team Prado didn't quite have enough momentum for this one, so Werner gave a helping hand. Henny also had his woes. He took too much of a sharp turn, and yep, DB'd. Lofty was again on hand to help out. And we won't even mention that pink shirt again. With Dad's tyre now fixed, Danru lines up at the next obstacle. It was quite a nasty one with a sharp angle at the bottom of the dune, which made it very tricky. Not enough speed and you won't make it. Too much and you hit the dune hard. Danru was obviously determined to make it because he lightened his Ford by losing his co-driver. He hits the dune hard. But not with enough speed to make it all the way. He got a heap of sand in his bucky for his trouble and 0 points.
I forgot my window open and yeah, it didn't pay out so good. You see how my pants look.
Henny went next. He also hits the dune hard. And also fails to make it. Notice sneaky Sean keeping a close eye on things in his pink shirt.
And it's loose. The sand is loose up there.
Team Beep are on the start line. The Jeep handles the bump rather nicely, with Lisa giving Fani lots of encouragement. Then, oh dear, they come to an abrupt halt, and yet another beep.
Quite lekker. I was surprised that I got up so high. I think I a little bit underestimated this hole, but it's quite lekker.
Last to go was Mr. Pink van Rooyen, and he had been watching the others on this obstacle. Let's see what he learned. Looks like something as he takes a wide left line, but as he rejoins the tracks, he gets an earful of sand. And they bog down. That's a fail. Before we head out to the last obstacle, this is what you do in the Namib when your flop decides to break in the middle of nowhere. Sean again knows all the tricks. This is the last obstacle for the Battle of the Dunes. And it's a progressive one. The object here is to see who can get the highest up the dune. 3, 2, 1, they are off. Sean and Hans express their happiness on the victory. Go Hilux! With the challenges officially over, it was time for contestants to get a well-deserved treat and make a detour to the Atlantic Ocean. Let's enjoy the spectacular view with them. But for 3 really crazy low-felters, they decided to have a polar bear experience in the icy Atlantic Ocean. Some things you just can't unsee. Back to the business of Battle of the Dunes, and some trophies, and prizes that need homes. Thanks to Snowmaster and Opposite Lock. And in 3rd place, Martin and Sinette from Team Ford. They get to take home a 42-litre fridge freezer from Snowmaster. Second place goes to Dundru and Dirk in another Ranger. And they bag themselves an adjustable Tough Dog suspension courtesy of Opposite Lock. In a well-deserved first place, Sean and Hans. That's a win for the only Hilux in the competition. They win the Big Daddy 56-litre fridge freezer from Snowmaster. And that was that. We'll be back soon with more sandblasting action from Namibia. Till then.